After a breathless curtain raiser at Brands Hatch earlier this month, which provided 3 different race winners, the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship roared on to Donington Park for rounds 4, 5 and 6 of the 2016 season. Fans poured into the Leicestershire circuit throughout the weekend and were truly entertained by 3 enthralling encounters. If Tom Ingram's pole position at Brands Hatch last time out was a slight surprise, then few would have predicted the outcome during qualifying at Donington, in a session that included rain, sun, hail, and even a sighting of snow. 2013 champion Andrew Jordan set the benchmark pace with just 6 minutes remaining, but then pushed too hard on the following tour and his Pertec-backed Ford Focus slid off and into the gravel. The session was briefly stopped to retrieve Jordan's stricken car, and as conditions improved, we were set for a final 5-minute showdown for pole position. Jordan's teammate Matt Jackson looked to be the man. He was the main beneficiary as he grabbed provisional pole shortly after the restart. Incredibly, however, the Motorbase performance driver followed teammate Jordan's lead as he too ended his run beached in the gravel trap. A gaggle of cars were still completing flying laps, and it was the MG of Ash Sutton that took over at the top, while his teammate Josh Cook completed an incredible front row for the impressive young duo. Jackson held on to third ahead of reigning champion Gordon Shedden's ballast-laden Honda Civic Type R. Donington was bathed in glorious spring sunshine come Sunday morning, and the action was to heat up on track as well as off it. Sutton's pole-sitting MG bogged down off the line as Cook and Jackson banged wheels. The Motorbase man muscled his way through and into the lead as Rob Collard's fast-starting BMW demoted Sutton to 4th. Sutton showed his steel by diving back past Collard before the end of the first tour, but the 2 drivers would reignite their duel later in the contest. Battles flared up and down the order with Hunter Abbott, Adam Morgan, Sam Tornoff and Colin Turkington wowing the crowds with one particular eye-catching scrap. With Jackson and Cook relatively comfortable in first and second respectively, it was all eyes on the fight for third as Tom Ingram and Collard squeezed their way past Sutton on lap 11. The race came to a dramatic end in more ways than one as Matt Simpson and Dan Welch made heavy contact at Coppice, and the Subaru of James Cole spectacularly burst into flames. With just 1 lap to go and 3 cars littering the circuit in dangerous positions, officials were left with no option but to red flag the encounter, handing Jackson a deserved win from Cook and Ingram. Rob Collard became the 5th different winner from the opening 5 races of the 2016 Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship after he made a late move for victory in the second contest. Jackson maintained the lead off the start from Tom Ingram's Toyota, while Collard blasted up to third in the team JCT 600 with Gardex BMW. Collard had to wait until lap 11 to make further ground as Tom Ingram defended valiantly. Collard passed the Toyota Avensis with a tidy move at the final chicane, and he immediately set about hunting down Matt Jackson's Ford Focus. Ingram then fended off a challenge from the sister BMW of Jack Goff as the Speedworks Motorsport driver clung on to the final podium position for dear life. The battle was far from over, however, as Ingram, Goff and Aaron Smith ran 3 abreast on the exit of Coppice on lap 13. Something had to give through the S's, and incredibly, when the dust settled, it was Smith's BKR Volkswagen that had sneaked through into third. Back up front, and Collard had eventually hauled in the ballast-laden Focus. The 2 cars ran side by side on the exit of Coppice in the closing stages, with Jackson finally having to concede to his West Surrey racing rival. Collard crossed the line to make it 5 different winners and 5 different marks to triumph from the opening 5 races of the season, as BMW machinery joined Toyota, Honda, Mercedes and Ford in the BTCC winners' circle so far this season. Tornoff kept the lead off the line in the reverse grid finale and was joined by his WSR teammate Jack Goff on lap 2 as he slipped past Neil at the chicane. Scraps ensued in the latter half of the top 10 as Rob Austin was shuffled down the order by the likes of Ash Sutton and Aidan Moffat, with the young Scotsman also going on to take the independence win for Laser Tools Racing. While the WSR duo initially scampered off into the sunset, both cars had to manage their Dunlop Sportmax soft tyres for the duration of the contest. It proved to be a race of 2 halves as the harder compound runners benefited from greater performance in the closing stages, and fortunes subsequently swung back towards Honda. Neil sliced past Goff at the old hairpin on lap 10, and Shedden followed suit at Redgate on the following lap. It was clear Tordoff was helpless to stop the Honda charge, as Neil eventually made a textbook move at McLean's, one of the triple champions' favourite hunting grounds. Shedden produced a similar move on Tordoff, as he had done to Goff at Redgate, and the Hondas were suddenly cruising to a comfortable 1-2. Both streaked clear to take the checkered flag in unison, and the BMWs of Tordoff and Rob Collard followed suit in third and fourth. So Neil had made it 6 different winners from the first 6 races of the 2016 BTCC season, and with it, Matt was back in the championship lead. In the aftermath of the action, and with the ultra-fast Thruxton circuit coming up in 3 weeks' time, Louise Goodman caught up with Donington Race 2 winner Rob Collard as the Hampshire driver looks ahead to his home race weekend.
So Rob, a good weekend for you here at Donington, topped off of course with that win.
Yes, absolutely. Race 2 for us today was absolutely fantastic. To come through with success ballast on and actually win for JCT 600 in the BMW was a fantastic result. So, and then we've just followed up with a great 4th place with 75 kilos, and looking forward to Thruxton now.
Well, your home circuit, happy hunting ground for you.
Yes, absolutely. Can't wait to get to Thruxton. It's one of the best circuits in the country. It's the highest speed corners that you ever drive in England. So Church Corner, we go through about 140 miles an hour, and then going up to the top of the hill there, we're bouncing around about 155. So it's a very, very fast and exciting track to visit.
It is a very special track, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It's great for the fans because they can get very close to the action. It's quite an old-fashioned circuit, one of the oldest and most rawest sort of circuits. Whereas, you know, you come to some of the circuits around Donington Park, great facilities and all these nice pits, and Thruxton's still very much a raw race circuit, and it's a pleasure to go there.
How do you think you guys, the BMWs, are going to go there, and who do you think everybody should be looking out for?
Well, I think the BMW is going to be very strong. Obviously, got 2 very fast teammates at the moment, but you can't discount the Hondas. The Hondas are very strong at the moment, and same with the 2 Ford Focuses. You know, Matt Jackson was extremely good today. So it's a very tough championship, and then you've got Ingram as well floating around there. So, yeah, it's very tough to pick a winner.
So a lot of people are going to be in the mix then, you think, some close racing and some hard racing? Well,
as always, the British Touring Cars is so competitive and so close. Yeah, I'd love to say it's going to be me, but it's so close. You know, it could be anybody, and the Subarus could come back. You know, I'm just waiting for them to really come on form. It's only a matter of time before they're right at the very front. So this is going to be a great championship, and it's a great start to the year so far, and can't wait for Thruxton.
See you there.
Thank you.